Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 best heavy ordnances in Borderlands 4. What's interesting about this list is 4 of the 5 got added after the game released, and I'm going to keep this to just one purple heavy ordnance, because when the game first launched, the top 5 were all purple, so I didn't even end up doing a video on that, but yeah, there's some pretty powerful new heavy ordnances that just got released, and power creep is real. Now, there are a lot of really good purple ordnances, as I mentioned. There's some that I'll be breaking down in further detail, so whenever I cover purple, I'll show you a number of good ones. I'm going to first start off with some honorable mentions. Now, the Cooper Duper here is a new one that just got added in Bounty Pack 3. I wouldn't even put this as an honorable mention. It's not really that good, but it's a cool concept. You shoot a little barrel here, which you can then later shoot to explode. I like the concept of it, but it just isn't that strong at all. As you see there, it barely did anything. But now for our first honorable mention. It kind of pains me to do this because I do love the disc jockey, but it has fallen victim to power creep. This has the bounce and biscuits, making it really good for like the takedown and mobbing, but some of the other weapons here are just a lot more powerful in their raw damage. This will allow it to bounce up to 5 times, gaining 20% damage per bounce. It starts off at around 4,000 damage and it shoots 3 per second, which sounds great until you consider that we have ones that shoot out 36k damage and they shoot 3 at a time. And they also shoot 3 per second. But here's what the disc jockey looks like. I love it. It's actually a really fun weapon. You can bounce off the ground like this to hit the enemy to give that extra bounce. It's going to be best when there's lots of enemies around because these will bounce around and just wipe out mobs. And it is really just a mobbing weapon. You can see it here against the boss. It kills, but it's not very fast. But again, fun weapon. I love it. It's just power creep is real. Next honorable mention is the Atling gun, which I opened up the video with. This shoots really quickly, 51.5 per second. It shoots a lot really fast. Now, just a quick distinction. Gloam to Glow Cash has a completely different tier list in all these videos. I have some people arguing that Gloam to Glow Cash is just crazy. And he is. It's just weapons with fast fire rates really benefit him. So things like this in the flat cannon are amazing for Gloam to Glow Cash. But the thing dealing the damage with those builds is his shields and not the gun itself, and that's what I'm taking into consideration for these videos. But you can see it here. It kind of has a mild homing effect here. It hits hard, but not hard enough in current meta of Borderlands 4. I like this weapon though. It is kind of a fun one and cool to use a big minigun like this. Feel like the Heavy from Team Fortress 2. It costs $400,000 to fire that gun for 12 seconds. But our last honorable mention here is the Streamer Heavy Gun Ordnance. Now, this fires a stationary projectile that fires a beam forward. This reminds me of the Scoot and Shoot pistol that got added with Story Pack 1. Since if the boss ends up moving, you have these beams that are firing forwards that deal damage in that area. And you can see it does an insane amount of damage if the boss stays still. The bosses aren't always going to stay still, as you see here. Now, all these beams are doing absolutely nothing. So, kind of falls victim to the same thing the Scoot and Shoot does, where you do have to have the boss stay still or have them be very large. But now we're getting into the good stuff. Our number 5 best heavy ordnance in the game is the Flak Cannon. This drops from Fully Invincible, and this is basically the Atling gun, but better. This is also an amazing weapon for Gloam to Glow Cash too, because it creates additional rounds. You want to have the roll with explosive rounds, which increase the damage by 25% and damage radius by 100%, but in my experience, it basically doubles the amount of damage. And this weapon can also roll in any element, so yeah, it is a solid one. And it kind of looks like a minigun here, so basically you're going to see this, and it has additional projectiles that fly off of the enemy, but you see how much powerful it is than the Atling gun. It's a much quicker time to kill. It's great for mobbing because it's kind of like a Merv style effect. But this here is a good example why the overall card damage doesn't always tell the full story, because even if I were to use a much lower DPS version, like this was 82k, that was 70k with the Atling gun, the time to kill on this is like 3 times or 4 times faster, and it's better for mobbing. So yeah, the card doesn't always tell the full truth. And the red text also references a Billy Ocean song, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a fun one. I really enjoy using this weapon. And if you're farming Fully Invincible, you'll probably have gotten a number of them. There are not many rolls for this weapon. So yeah, it's solid. We're following this up with our number 4 weapon, which is another one that drops from a raid boss. This one coming from Bloom Reaper, the Invincible, the Jet Setter. It reminds me of Jet Set Radio, amazing game. A real crowd pleaser, like the Ray Shermard song. But this is a Ripper weapon. The frequent flyer ability basically means that when you shoot at targets, it's going to create additional projectiles that just bounce up and down, dealing damage. You'll see it scales up to pretty crazy amounts, kind of similar to the Streamer, but more forgiving, because you can see here, they splash in a large area, so you got a bunch of these discs flying around. And this weapon can also roll with any element too, so you got a lot of different ways you can build around this. Most every time without elements will have the highest possible card damage, which is what I just wanted to show in this video. They have a 210 centimeter splash radius though. It's actually pretty forgiving. For example, the disc jockey, which is a very similar weapon, has a 120 centimeter range, whereas this is a lot higher. Yeah, so that's why I unfortunately had to put the disc jockey as an honorable mention. The jet setter does a lot of what this does, but even better. Even after the disc jockey just recently got buffed so that it can work against vile crystals, this thing is still just a better option. And I'll show the jet setter off again here. So yeah, you got those 3 projectiles. They just start bouncing up and down. Yeah, they bounce on a crazy style like that. It's a powerful, powerful weapon. Now in 3rd place, this is where we have the purples, and a lot of them are amazing. The best is the honey bunches of oats here. This one, so basically how this works is Torg is going to have 6 different possible rolls. So you can see the passive here. This one has the shrapnel rockets and triple barrel. This one here has airburst and triple barrel. This one has reticle homing and triple barrel. This one has airburst and shrapnel rockets, reticle homing shrapnel rockets, and reticle homing and airburst. All of them are amazing. Probably the weakest is like the mystery meat, funny enough. They all come with a 541 centimeter splash radius. What makes the honey bunches so good is that things like active fire will work properly on this, so you can actually do some pretty insane amounts of damage with that. But honestly, a roly-poly's great, spew crew's great, the tongue wag's amazing, the badoink, I love the badoink, and the mystery meat as well. I'll first show off the honey bunches, then I'll show off the others. So this one, you charge it up or you can just fire it off as you will. But yeah, you see it there. It hits really hard. So yeah, you get your ammunition right back. If you're using like a Harlow build, this works better on like Amon, for example. I'm just using a build that gives me my ammo back. So yeah, it's nice in the regard that you're going to hit the targets and then get your ammo back immediately. But 4 splashes is all it took. Next, I'll show the roly-poly here, which roly-poly-oly. So this one is also a charged rocket like that. So yeah, it's a little bit less damage. You still get the thing back in full whenever you fire it off like that. But this is one that's obviously still very powerful nonetheless. So yeah, you just continue to keep firing this away. It works better. Like, this is a Harlow build. I try to keep things as consistent as possible, so I use Harlow. But on other characters like Cash or Amon, it is going to work a whole lot better on them. But yeah, you see here, pretty solid amounts of damage. Next, I'll show off the badoink here. So this one is my second favorite, I'd say, after the honey bunches. This thing hits really hard. It's a single fire rocket, so it works better on certain builds. But you can see here, as we continue to keep hitting the target, it's doing an insane amount of damage. So yeah, it just absolutely melts. I really like this one. It's strong. And I'll give one more example with the tongue wag. I've been using this one for a very long time. If you don't have the honey bunches, this is another good choice alongside the badoink. Pretty much any purple Torg is going to be fantastic though, so you don't have to worry now. This one you can see here, you're basically just going to fire it off single fire. Insane amounts of damage. It's a really strong one. And again, purple Torgs are the way to go. Now, I'll be honest, guys, number 2 and number 1 were very, very close. But I'm actually going to put the Heimdall in second place. This is the best heavy ordnance for mobbing. But there's another one here that's just so absurdly broken that it just pales in comparison. So this one will fire off Dahl soldier heads. It has an explosion radius of like 1200, but that doesn't really mean much because you shoot out turrets. And yeah, it shoots off these heads. It is a little bit annoying. Not everyone loves the sound effects that it makes, but you're gonna see here, there's little heads that just continually keep firing at bosses. It can come with elemental rolls. This one scales up in more damage the longer you have it out, and these heads are gonna shoot 16 times. Now, I posted a video a couple weeks ago about how you can use the new Raiden Pearlescent SMG that came from Battle Pack 3, which gives you additional projectiles. When you use it with this gun, it shoots off additional projectile heads, which makes it insanely overpowered and probably the true best weapon for doing the takedown. I would actually put the Heimdall as like one of the top 5 best weapons in this game. It's so very powerful. Which takes us to our number 1 best weapon, the Promise Dropner. This thing is insane. It drops from the new takedown on Hadron Abyss. What's amazing about it is that with using this, it just destroys everything. 327k DPS, that alone says enough. That Raiden technique also works on this, letting you just shred bosses in like less than a second. Where the Heimdall actually drops in the Story Pack DLC, this one comes free to play. It's going to return back to your character. Yeah, it kills that quickly. And again, all it would take it a couple shots to use the Raiden because it doubles up the projectiles, but you basically want to shoot it at like the target's feet so that it bounces back as fast as possible and hits him twice. And yeah, you can have the lowest possible damage roll and it's still going to absolutely shred things that quickly. So yeah, the Dropner is the best heavy ordnance in the game, with the Heimdall being very close. If you're doing the takedown for mobbing sections, use the Heimdall. Once you get to the Child of Terramorphous, bring up the Dropner and drop him. So yeah, I hope this video was informative in some way, and if it was, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. I make Borderlands 4 content all the time, and I hope you guys all have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.